Well, hello everybody. I can't believe it's already that time of year again. Big Brother season is upon us, and this will be my quick little first impressions of the cast. You know, always these first impressions these days. We get quick little interviews, and it's hard to really make anything out of these new people. 2 years ago, I had a really good assessment. Last year, I don't feel like I did. So we'll see how my first impressions are this year. Last year, I came off of the high of Love Island season 6. I was expecting Big Brother to be trash per usual, but last summer, Big Brother finally actually put on a good game. This season, Love Island has been pretty trash, so I'm hopeful that maybe Big Brother could be the good series this season again. But I have my doubts with this show. When the cast first came out, today, I'm recording this on Tuesday. This won't air till Wednesday. So if any more information comes out on the cast, I'm just using the information I got on Tuesday. I will say that this cast on paper, when I first saw them, first of all, the diversity seemed a little lacking per usual. Well, the last few seasons, I felt like they were going in the right direction. This year, I feel like we got a few black people, we got an Asian, and then we got a couple of ambiguous people, but mostly white. The history of the show, that doesn't excite me. The age thing kind of bothers me too. There's no older woman this year, and the last 2 years, that's what gave us all the drama, was older women in the game. We got an older guy, but that's usually not a great thing. So, there are some cast members that are at least in their 30s compared to 20s. But yeah, the age and race diversity, I wasn't feeling off rip. What I am feeling, though, is that unlike Love Island, this cast, it doesn't seem like a bunch of wannabe influencers. For the first time in well over a decade on Big Brother, I feel like we are dealing with real people with real jobs, some of which are unemployed right now, some of which say they're broke and need the money, which means we're going to get people that are going to play hard because they actually want the money more than just want Instagram followers. They actually might want to win more than just become an influencer. So that excites me with this cast. Let's quickly get into this with my first thoughts. Adrian is our first person. He's 23 from San Antonio, Texas. He's a carpenter. He seems like a really huge super fan of Big Brother, which anyone that's watched any of my videos in past seasons knows that the super fans can bother me because they think they know it all, and then there's a section of the fan base that goes really hard for them despite them usually making terrible maneuvers. We saw that the last 2 seasons with some of these super fans. So they could irritate me. However, I feel like this guy is coming off so cocky that he might irritate the fans. In the video, I couldn't tell if Adrian is actually cocky or being so over the top funny about he's going to change the game. He's going to be the best player ever. He's obsessed about this show. He's gone through all these scenarios in his head. He makes his own slop. I'm leaning towards he's cocky and he really thinks he's going to be the best player ever. So that probably will not bode well for him. He's coming across as someone that is going to do way too much. Like a lot of super fans have the ability to come into a game and fumble and do. I think the potential to do that is there. I think he could have a really good social game though, so that could save him. But that could also just be what makes his game worse because he's going to do too much, make too many alliances. It's all going to fall apart very quickly for him. I think I could like him though, but I got to see his personality with other people because the cockiness was a bit much. Amy Bingham, she's 43 from Stockton, California. She's an insurance agent. I believe she's our oldest woman this year, so no woman in her 50s to give us drama, although Angela did get old to me last season. She did midway through the season. Amy, I was a bit distracted by her face, and I know, if this is your first time watching one of my cast assessments, don't cry about it in my comments, because I don't care. First of all, on Love Island this past season, we had Vanna, who was this 21-year-old who had a bunch of plastic surgery. She looked 31 instead of 21, and she looked like Jigsaw from Saw. And that's the same vibe I get from her face. Like, the women out there, if you're going to get plastic surgery, don't try and look like Jigsaw from Saw, because I just don't get it. Outside of her face, though, I don't know if I loved her answers either. I think the only thing that could help her is if she's older and wiser than some of these other players. She's the person that wants like an all-girls alliance, which we know never works on this show. If she tries to get an all-girls alliance, I can't not expect it to fail. It will probably fail, especially if she tries to include everybody in the women's alliance. So her plan coming in probably doesn't bode well. I would love her to surprise me, though. But if her only plan is an all-girls alliance, she's screwed. Ashley Hollis, she's 25 from Chicago, currently lives in New York. She's an attorney. You know, she comes across as very smart. From her answers, what made me laugh is that she says she got a law degree from a top 14 law school, which makes me think it was like 14th in a top 14, because that's a weird thing to say. It's not a top 5, not a top 10, but a top 14. Whatever. I'll give her a pass, though, because I do believe she's going to be strategic. She says she likes to stick up for people that are being bullied, so that's always someone I like in a game, because I don't want the whole house going after someone personally. That's always gross. I do feel like she's someone that will speak her mind. That could not bode well for her socially. But if she doesn't fall into gamebot territory, I will like her. But I do think she might fall into gamebot territory. She did say one of her weaknesses was empathy. A few people said that. And I felt, though, like from her answers, she said she wanted to kind of trick people, but then she also said she's very empathetic, so it might be hard for her to like backstab people. So that will be something to watch. Will she actually be able to make a big move on something, or will her empathy get in the way? Ava Pearl is a character. She's 24 from Long Island. She's an aura painter. What's an aura? Aura. She's an aura painter. What's an aura painter? I don't know. Apparently she could just read people's auras. She sees colors when she sees people, and that's how she's able to read people. And that's what she's going to use to find out who she's going to work with. It sounds like a bunch of woo-woo bullshit, and it's probably going to be. I'm sorry, I don't see Ava being a good player. I will love her to surprise me. She's very funny with her answers. She's the person that says she lives in New York. She's here for the money. She's broke. So I think she will play hard, and I do think she will be someone that will do anything to win. So that excites me. But this whole she could read people by the colors that they give. You know, I love to talk about astrology and all, but I don't think I can even sit here and say that I believe that she's truly going to be able to do that. So maybe she will, though. Maybe she will have this great read on people and actually be able to maneuver well. I would be actually surprised if that happens, though. She's also very Italian, she says, as a fellow Italian. I'm not from New York, though, so I'm not as loud as her. She might give us drama. So I'm very excited to watch Ava. She's actually one of my favorites. Do I think she's going to be a good player, though? Not necessarily. Clifton Will Williams is next, the oldest player. He's 50 from South Carolina, currently lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. He's a college sports podcaster. When I first saw him on the cast, you know, he's an older black male. I thought he's screwed. We saw this a few years ago, didn't work out. And just older white guys in general, older men in general, don't come into the game and play well, or they don't even play at all. I think he's going to be opposite of that, though. I think he actually is going to play. So I think the potential for him is very high if he can fit in with the younger people. And that is the big thing. But I loved his game plan, though. You know, he's a sports analyst. He wants to put this basketball team together of 5, 2 girls, 2 guys, and him. But it sounded more like he wants to coach those 4 other players, which might not work. But he talked about how he wants to be like a puppet master with the kids in the house. If his social game is there, and judging by his personality, I actually think it could be there. His plan could work. I think it's a little convoluted, but I would like to see if he can actually get there. If he has a social game that I actually think he might, and that he is talking about he could have, he might surprise us all as the older guy in the house. I don't think he's going to give us drama like the older women, but if he can at least give me strategy, I will cut him some slack. Next up is Isaiah Z Frederick. He is 23 from Kentucky, currently lives in Utah. He's a salesperson. I didn't get a great read on him. It seemed like he's just going in blind. I didn't get any real game plan from him, but that's not necessarily a good thing. I don't think you can come into the game with a really stringent game plan. He says he's adaptable, so if he actually is adaptable, that could pay off for him. You know, the AI arena is probably returning this season, and he's probably somebody that could do good in competitions. So I don't see him going home early. I think he's probably more of like a challenge threat and maybe more of a social threat than an actual strategic threat, though. But he does give vibes of somebody that could kind of walk through the game on the strength of his social game and his competition wins. So I'm not excited to watch him play, but like a lot of these people, hope he surprises me. Jimmy Hagerty, he's 25 from Florida, currently lives in Washington, D.C. He's an AI consultant. I think I'm going to like him because he's either going to be this really big social threat or he's going to be somebody that starts a lot of drama. I don't see it going any other way from him. He's a gay man, and I think he has the ability to be very cheeky with his interview. I think he might have the ability to read people maybe too much. I don't know how people are going to take to being read. One of his answers was interesting in saying that his friends and people say he's too nice, but he doesn't think he is. So I don't know if he is going to be like somebody socially that comes off nice like everybody else thinks he is, and then he will have the ability to stab people in the back, or if he knows himself better than his friends do and he might just say too much and get in trouble with other players. I like that he wants to be more of a villain. A lot of people said they are okay with being villains this year, which is a big thing for me because in past seasons lately, people are so afraid to be a villain. But these people need the money, so I think a lot of them will do whatever it takes to win. This guy doesn't strike me as somebody that needs the money, though. But I'm excited to watch him because he might be mess in good ways and in bad ways. Katherine Woodman is next, another 23-year-old from Georgia, currently lives in Columbia, South Carolina. She's a waitress. It says she's a fine dining server, but she's a waitress. And that's not a bad thing. I actually think that is someone that can have a good social game, and it's another person who's like a real person. She's a waitress, not some wannabe influencer. Maybe she is a wannabe influencer because she's only 23, but like, I think she's going to be good. At least, I think she's going to get far. Maybe not necessarily good, but her answers in that people are going to underestimate her. She said that a lot in her answers, and I agree. People are going to underestimate her, and it's going to give her time to develop a good social game if she tries. So, I don't know what kind of player she's going to be. I don't know if she's going to have the strategies down or anything. I think she could get there over time. I don't think she was someone that struck me as like a super fan or anything. But I think socially, with people underestimating her, she's probably going to go far. Maybe not even because she's doing anything great, but she's probably going to go far. Somebody who might not go far at all, even though I do like him, is Keanu Sto, who is 33 from Miami, currently lives in Texas. He's a dungeon master. I meant to look that up because I have no idea what the hell a dungeon master is. Looks like it's something from Dungeons and Dragons. So yeah, he did say he was a big nerd, and he is. He's so big though. He is a big guy. He's a big target. That's why I see him coming into this game. He's gonna come in. People are gonna be intimidated by him. He's gonna have a hard time surviving early. If the AI arena is back, like I think it is, he's gonna be fine. Well, maybe not fine, because we don't know. The challenges last year, the competitions were actually more even for the first time ever on the show. So it might not all be physical, and he might not be completely fine, but he might have that extra chance with the AI arena to stay in if he does come in as a big target, like I think he will. If he can survive these first few rounds, though, and actually develop relationships, he should be good. He's a super fan. He was quoting seasons from all over the place, many different seasons, and actual quotes from many different seasons. So if he survives, he'll be fine. After the first few weeks, he might go far if he can survive the first few weeks. Next up is Callie Jorgenson, 29, from South Dakota. She's a web designer. I thought I was going to hate her by looking at her picture because she looks like a farming nerd. She talked about being a farmer a lot, and she at least seems well-traveled. She seems actually very smart. She says she runs businesses. So there's a lot more to her than meets the eye. I still don't think I'm going to like her, though. She talked about how she wants to be a hero. If she becomes a villain, then something went wrong. I think she's going to be one of those goofball Big Brother characters that gets on my nerves real quick. So I'm not actually looking forward to her. One of the only people on the cast that I'm not looking forward to. Next up is Lauren, 22, from Louisiana. She's a bridal consultant. She screams one of two things. Either Lauren is going to have this badass social game, she's going to use guys, and she's going to get far because of that, because she might even have some strategies, or she's the person that's going to get in a showmance. With who, I don't know necessarily. I have an idea. But yeah, she might be the person that gets in the showmance and just uses the showmance to kind of get far. And so if she's the latter, I ain't going to like her. But if she's the former, she might be more interesting to watch. And speaking of interesting to watch, Mickey Lee, 35, from Jacksonville, Florida, currently lives in Atlanta. She's an event curator. She had a great personality. She says she's really girly. If her personality comes across to her cast, her fellow castmates, her fellow players, as well as it could, I think her social game could be one of the best in the house. I think people will also underestimate her, which I think she will go for. But yeah, I think her strength will obviously be her social game. Her age could be a problem. I see people online thinking she and the big guy whose name I forgot might actually be a good duo because they're both around the same age. Keanu. Maybe, but I don't think they should be like an obvious duo or they'll both be targets because Keanu is going to be a target. But yeah, Mickey should have a good social game. Morgan Pope, she's going to be a fan favorite. She serves face and all that, but she's a gamer nerd. She used to be an athlete. She seems very well-rounded. I think she's the person whose stands are probably going to get on my nerves the most. But I also really like her. She does seem really well-rounded. I think she will be good at everything. I think she will have the comps down. I think she will have the strategy down. I think she will have a social game. Will she play too hard, too fast? That's a possibility, though. You know, people who are gamers might game too hard, too fast. But I would actually be surprised if she spins out of control early. But you never know when you get in that house for so long. And she's also not a super fan, which could be good, could be bad. Her mom's a super fan. She watched old seasons like season 5 and 6 when she was younger. She's a big Janelle Stan. The potential is endless with her, but I do think she could run into problems, and I do think her stance will get on my nerves at some point. Calling that prediction now. Someone who gets on my nerves just from picture alone, Riley Jeffries, the old cowboy from Luther, Oklahoma, professional bull rider. Look, I just had to watch Taylor on Love Island for a season be some cowboy who finally went home on Tuesday night from Love Island. I can't do long. I can't do Riley for long. He has to be the first boot. He gives me nothing. I don't see how he's going to fit in with the rest of the cast. I mean, there are some other country bumpkins on the cast, but he doesn't strike me as somebody with a great personality, so I don't think he's going to get along with people. He could be one of those weirdo freaks that Big Brother cast that's just good at all these competitions, but I really hope that is not the case with him, because I want him gone early. And last but not least, oh, nope, just kidding, there's two more people. Is our unemployed person next. So is Vince Panaro, whatever. He's from West Hills, California. He's currently unemployed. He's 34. I like what he had to say as a strategist. He said it in a convoluted way, but he said he wants to take each round as like a new game, which is someone that could excite me as a player if he takes each round as a new game, which means he's going to adapt and he's going to flip on alliances and he's going to want to work with someone new each week. It could be very Tucker-esque, which, yeah, his stands and he got on my nerves eventually too, but it made for some exciting gameplay to watch and random gameplay to watch. So that excites me, and I think him describing what he wants to do also makes me know that he knows that this is a very slow, long game, and he wants to play the long game, but it could get very messy for him if he is just going to flip on people each round. Okay, last person is Zach. He is 27, from Georgia. He's a marketing manager. I think he's going to have a look where he's either going to be able to get along with a lot of people or he's going to be another big target. I don't know how the other people are going to take him, but, you know, the potential is there with him as well. He's another person that kind of described the game he wants to play. It was kind of basic Big Brother, like, you know, you start the game off with an alliance, and then as the weeks go by, you just build solid relationships and stuff. If he's going to build relationships and have that social game to do so, he should be fine. But he's also somebody that might be getting into a showmance, even though he said his mother wouldn't want him to do so. But if old girl who's, I'm not going to learn these names, it's going to take me 70 years to learn these names, trying to find her, you know, the one I said that's probably going to be in a showmance, whatever. Her and this guy probably going to be the showmance of the season is my prediction. Lauren and Zach might be the showmance. All right. I had to speed through this. The feeds don't start till Sunday. I will probably talk about Thursday's episode a little bit. But, you know, I usually talk about the feeds, so I probably won't be saying too much about Big Brother until, like, next Monday, and more so next week. And then the 2 weeks after that, I'm going to be traveling, so that's going to be hard. But I always try to stay consistent, and I will do my best, per usual, to keep up with the feeds for y'all. Happy Big Brother season.